Hello, my name is Maureen O'Neill,
Hi, and I'm Kira Kinsella.
and we're on
Legendary
Educating.
The Pompano Beach High School International Summit is a biannual event that brings together educators and schools from around the world to attend a week-long event full of activities for both students and teachers. I first attended back in 2017 as a teacher representing my then school and country, Egypt. At that time, I was teaching 3 curriculums, I was supervising the student council, and I'm pretty sure that's the year I directed the high school play. Then the principal dropped this baby on my desk. More work, yeah, thanks. But of course I said yes, because it is these opportunities that excited me as a teacher. Any opportunity for students to learn outside the classroom is worth looking into. And so I did. I reached out and contacted the school for info. Long story short, after several months, I was on a plane with 6 or 7 students heading to Pompano Beach, Florida, and I did not regret it. The experiences my students had during this week were priceless. They made friends with many students from several different countries, sharing their culture, tradition, dance moves, and whatever else kids these days share with one another. Likewise, the experience was extremely enriching for educators. I had many discussions with teachers from around the world and attended several classrooms. That's how I met Dr. Shipe, with whom I spoke on episode 3 of this podcast. The International Summit is an exhausting week of learning, relationship building, and memories that will last a lifetime. After a hiccup caused by COVID, which saw the International Summit go virtual, this year, the summit was larger than ever. We saw 20 educators, including myself, and over 100 students come together to celebrate their culture, heritage, and identity, and learn from one another, and share their journeys in education. And that's not even counting all the virtual guests we had. I was invited as a special guest to represent Canada and the Legendary Educator podcast. So I wasted no time talking to educators about their experiences and what they've gained throughout the week. And this is what we'll be hearing on today's episode. Instead of interviewing one legendary educator, I actually got to speak to a large number of legendary educators from 4 different continents, as well as the founder of the International Summit, former Pompano Beach High School principal, Mr. Hudson Thomas, and the current head organizer of the summit, Mrs. Jill Samer. I also included some of the speeches that took place during the summit, which I felt really explained and gave life to the virtues and goals of this International Summit. This is the longest episode so far, and I do apologize for that. I usually like to keep it under about half an hour, but I had a lot of content that I had to include, different voices that I felt were important to include. Try to stay tuned till the end of the podcast, and I'll tell you what we, as a community of educators, learned during our week, and what messages stood out during this week. All right, I'll talk to you at the end.
Hi, my name is Hudson Thomas, and this week we had an awesome International Summit, and I cannot truly express how my heart really is humbled by all that I've seen this week from both our students who were over the top excited, life-changing experiences that they've had this week. And I'm sure and I hope that you guys also had that same experience. This is something that's going to last in my memory for a very long time.
Ms. Samer, thank you so much for your time. I know you're an extremely busy person. You're the assistant principal of an entire school, plus you're the organizer of an international summit. So I do want to thank you. I appreciate your time. What is this? What is this international summit? I mean, how did it begin, and what is the evolution of it? How did it start?
So it started back in 2012 when Mr. Thomas was a new principal at Pompano Beach High School and said, what is the vision of our school? And what is our magnet theme? Our magnet theme is International Affairs with Information Technology. We do a lot of things with technology. We have 4 technology tracks, but there was no focus in that international part. So we had one of our teachers that just happened to come back from traveling, and Julia Prowowski came back and had met educators in Sweden. And another one of our teachers had a connection to a teacher in Japan. So he said, would it be neat to invite them to our school and do a collaboration? So that was the birth of the International Summits. And since then, it's just grown and expanded to what it is today.
When was the first summit and what did it look like?
So the first summit was 3 students from Sweden, an educator from Sweden, and 1 student from Japan. The following year, I believe we had 4 different delegations of students and a few, in addition, some adults. So I think there might have been like 7 countries represented in the second summit, and since then now we have 19 countries that are participating, plus the United States, so 20 countries overall this summit.
Why do you think it's growing so, almost exponentially?
So every country that we have involved has come from a connection from one of our own faculty members, either traveling to that country or having a connection already from their birth home. So they have seen what we have done with previous summits and said, wouldn't it be great if we had Taiwan here? Wouldn't it be great if we had India to come here? Wouldn't it be great if we had Mexico? And they ask for the invitation. And if it's coming from someone within, we extend that invitation.
What do you see that's consistent in every summit?
The consistency has been the reflections at the end. What do our students ultimately get out of this? And what do they ultimately get out of it is the relationships. That's been the focus every summit, is the relationships that they've formed and what those relationships have brought to them in the future. For instance, one of our students recently graduated, but was a part of the last in-person summits and also part of the virtual summit. And from all those connections from both of them, has been able to travel the world in the future while he's been in college and really open his eyes to the entire world and what it's like to be in those countries. Yes, he's had those relationships here, but then was able to go and see in person himself from all those relationships that he's formed.
How about the teachers? again, you've seen a bunch of teachers who do keep coming back every time, and some new teachers at the end, they will also share their reflection. What do they say?
So it's also those connections and those relationships and the collaborations in the classroom. So some of the teachers that come then do projects with their own students back in the classroom with our students here and share experiences and have those online part, and then when they come here, they're able to meet.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Samu. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for making this happen for so many students, so many teachers.
Well, also thank you for being a part of it these past years and continuing that relationship. That's what it's all about, right? It's continuing those relationships and what can we do next, and asking ourselves, what can we do next to continue that relationship and the collaboration? It doesn't just stop after the end of this week. It continues on.
I love it. Thank you so much.
But I'll tell you, it's really important for all of us to understand. This is not simply some kind of a boondoggle where kids get to go and have fun and just kind of like lollygag and stuff like that. This is serious stuff. What we're doing here, what you're doing here at Pompano Beach High School as part of this international summit, you're building relationships between cultures, between countries. That's really, that's the future of our world. And it seems like there's always conflict in this world. I don't care where it is, there's conflict that happens every day, it seems like. But by building communication, building bridges between countries and communities and personalities and people, that can help solve some of those problems. So we don't have confrontations around the world. And that's what I think is really so important about this. It's not just the educational aspect, which I know that's what we do here at Pompano Beach High School. Hey, former alum, Pompano High, go Tornadoes, yes. So seriously, the educational aspect is critically important, but in my mind, what makes this such a unique experience is the cultural exchanges, the communications you set up for the future. And that's really what's going to make a difference long term. And once the school studies are long gone, once you guys complete high school, complete college, start your careers in real life, the education stops, but what you gain here, person to person, that's really what's critically important, and will solve problems long after you're gone from here. You can pick up the phone, you can pick up your internet or whatever, however you're going to communicate 20 years from now. And yes, you can communicate with one another and say, hey, we got this issue here. Let's talk about it. Rather than picking up a gun or a knife or a stick or whatever it is that point in time. And that's what's really great about this program, is getting people together. So thank you for all, Ms. Switzer, thank you, seriously. Thank you for what you do at this school. School board members, thank you for supporting things like this. And everyone else who's here to support this program, but especially thank you to the kids that take part in this. As mayor of City of Pompano Beach, I'm proud that we can help support this. And out in our city, it could be anywhere. It's at Pompano Beach High School, and thank you for that. And thank you for continuing the tradition that has been started previously. A great job continuing forward. And thank you so much. Enjoy the program. Enjoy the opportunity that we have here in Pompano Beach High School for all these kids to communicate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hello, hi, I'm Lisa Spencer, proud principal of Pompano Beach High School, and we are on the tail end of our 6th International Summit. And what a week it has been. So this has been a wonderful opportunity for all of our guests to come together, both in person and virtually, and share in the classroom experience of the Pompano Beach High School students, as well as, participate and share cultural exchange activities. And this week, these days, not only have the students been learning from each other and about each other, the adults as well. We're gonna keep this going. And what we realize all this week is that we are more alike than we are different. Young people are pretty much the same everywhere and deserve the same thing. The best opportunities for learning all that they can so that they can be competitive in the global community and serve and make life better for not just themselves, but for all human beings. Thank you for participating in the Pompano Beach High School 2023 International Summit. See you again soon.
Hello, my name is Anna Krzemińska-Kaczyńska. I am from Poland. I represent World Link Foundation, as well as Open Future International School in Kraków. I'm here for the 5th time, and thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be back and to enjoy the learning environment.
Okay, Miss Anna, what brings you back to Pompano Beach High School International Summit?
People, okay, who build us up. So first of all, of course, Mr. Hudson Thomas, Ms. Lisa Spencer, Ms. Jill Samaru, Mr. Montes, okay, all great teachers and an administrative team from Pompano Beach High School. Amazing atmosphere created by host families as well and teachers in the classrooms. Okay, this is what keeps me bringing, and I hope that it's going to be continued. Secondly, leadership through doing. When I can be a part of leadership team over here during the summit, as you are as well, right? Then I think that's the best learning environment, right? You know what is behind the scene. You know how they lead actually the teachers, right? How they instruct the students. So this way, when you are back home, you know how to build the resilient students environment. So that is there.
You aren't a first-timer here, so you have experienced and witnessed year after year after year. What are the effects of these kinds of international events, cultural exchange events on students?
They open up the wings for our students. So this is number one, right? My students from Poland, okay, when they came over here, one of them studies at MIT University. He's the second-year student, right? Another one, she is at the Dutch University, but she says that through the kindness, through the leadership of doing over here that she has experienced, okay, over there, she can be a part of leadership team back at the university. So that has built a confidence, okay? Over here, you can experience a very, very important thing, that only your mind is the limit. So it's not the sky, it's not other people, right? But only your mind. So through that, you have the understanding as well that no matter where you are from, no matter what you have experienced, when you work towards your goal, when you reflect, when you are a critical thinker as well, when you enjoy the experience of other people, right, then you can build something valuable for yourself. So that is what I really, really appreciate over here.
And how about for teachers? How are these events, international events, cultural exchange events, how do these benefit teachers?
I have to tell you the story about, our path. First of all, mine here. So the former theater teacher from here, Julia Perlowski, was taking part in Fulbright scholarship in India, as I did as well at that time. That was 2012. And so we met in India, and she said, okay, my principal, Mr. Thomas, has a visionary idea to bring up the world to Pompano Beach High School. So this is how I came actually to Pompano Beach High School in 2014 for the first time. Then, at the moment, it is 2023, and there is actually principal from Nepal and the group, and we met in the United States, in New York, during the Model United Nations.
Right, okay.
And we did the Polish-Nepalese actually student exchange over here, right? And then the principal from here went to Nepal, and now they are here. So as you can see, this interaction, when people get along, when they have something to share with and have the same values, right? This is what comes together. And it happens through the teachers. If it hadn't been for teachers, we wouldn't be able to be here.
Of course.
We wouldn't be able to bring our actually students. Of course, the leadership team from home, so principals are really crucial. If it hadn't been for the again.
For the yeses, right? Yes, go.
Nothing would have happened. So that is there. So to have the understanding that you miss structural, traditional learning in the classroom and come during your summertime, during the winter holidays, or any time, because we are busy at school overall. And there is no right time to come as well, right? But when you come, when you see different perspective, this brings a lot to your classroom teaching as well. So
why do you think teachers come? And I'm going to ask, teachers who have been here for the first time, why did you come, right? Why do you think teachers come here?
You know what, as we have been discussing, we struggle similar actually challenges back home. And when we come here and we see that we've got a bigger picture, right, of what is happening, that there are different solutions, there are people maybe more experienced, maybe with a different perspective, and then we take this back home and we say, okay, listen, what can we do in our environment?
Right.
This is what brings us together, After COVID-19 disruption, I think that many of us, started thinking, where am I at in my life, in professional career, right? What shall I be doing, What I'm going to do in 5 years, right? So how to create the quality time, for myself and for my students to feel that I am not wasting the given time. So, so that is the power. And I think that this inner drive that we get over here as well is so much needed, because as you know, we experience not only, the classroom presentations, that our students do, not only the cultural exposure that is so important to be ambassadors of our schools, countries, etc. over here, but what we also do, we as teachers, are human beings. So we need the support to feel that we are the family, of teachers, dedicated to the students and the schools, but also, it opens up us. So that's here as well.
I'm glad you're here, and I'll see you again in the next one.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm from Poland, and I work at 8th Private Academic High School, where I teach English, and I'm also responsible for international cooperation. And it's my second time here, and what I like about this summit is probably the people, because you get to work and share experiences with teachers from all over the world. And this actually helps me to develop my skills, because you see and you get to know how the job is done worldwide, and that's probably the most interesting thing for me.
Good morning, my name is Urszula. I come from Poland. I'm an IB Economics and Business Management teacher at the 8th Private Academic High School in Krakow. I have a pleasure to be here for the first time with a couple of my students, we have an opportunity to share experiences with other teachers and students from other countries. We especially value the possibility of class shadowing, to get inspired and to learn from the American experience, and also share this experience with other teachers and students. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Ciara Kinsella. I am a classroom teacher for the last 17 years. I teach history and Irish at St. Raphael Secondary School in Ireland. Fáilte Rómh go léir.
Hi, my name is Marion O'Neill. I'm an English and Geography teacher. I teach in St. Raphael Secondary School in South Dublin. Hi, so we're here representing St. Raphael Secondary School. We were first represented here by our colleague, Eileen O'Donnell, and our other colleague, Anna Riley, in 2017. Since then, we've been really eager to maintain our connection with Pompano Beach High School. Many of our students who have attended since that time, either virtually or in person, have spoken at length about the benefits, the connections that they've made, the great experience that they've had. So we are just really eager to ensure that those connections remain, and that we, going forward in our new positions, just help to kind of strengthen those and to make sure that they last and that it doesn't get lost in the business of everyday life.
So this is my first time attending the International Summit on behalf of my school, St. Raphael Secondary School. It's been an absolute honour and privilege to represent our school here in Pompano Beach. It has been an amazing, eye-opening experience. The hospitality has been endless. Everybody has welcomed us all with some insights into their education, into their own families, their own homes. They've opened up, their hearts to us here, and we're absolutely privileged and honoured to represent our country here. And thanks again for the opportunity to PBHS. Thank you.
This is your first time here, but it's not your school's first time here.
That's correct.
What brings you here, year after year, event after
Well,
event?
I guess the first thing of all to say is we were given this fantastic opportunity back in its infancy. My principal and my colleague took the opportunity to go on this wonderful experience to Pompano Beach High School, and since then we've just been constantly taking part because of the richness that we get from the whole entire experience. Some of the experience we get are things we can take back to our classroom, things that we can help students and staff improve, develop and amend on. It's also really, really important in our current climate that we maintain these links with schools, especially in what's happening in the world right now, that it's really important that we get to experience difference and we get to experience the similarities that binds us, actually, rather than what divides us. So yeah, why not keep going with this wonderful opportunity?
What have you gained as teachers personally?
Personally, I've gained a sense of reassurance in that I've seen what Ciara just mentioned binds us in education. So one of the experiences we had, which recently, was to point out, some maybe obstacles we face in educating, and things that I felt maybe initially were maybe just to do with me or maybe my school or just my country. I soon found comfort in the fact that it actually was worldwide. So I found comfort in that, and also reassurance knowing that there are people there facing the same problems, but also equally eager to try to find solutions to these problems. That's something really valuable I can take home and share with my colleagues back in Ireland.
Have you had discussions with other teachers about teaching methodologies and techniques?
We've had conversations about aspects of school life, such as perhaps discipline and uniform. Maybe the pros and cons of uniform, how to maintain discipline without coming across too authoritarian. So we just kind of shared, we are a very pastoral school, so we kind of shared how we strike that balance on a daily basis to maintain, generally coherent levels of behaviour and general presentation on a daily basis in our school.
Yeah, and another thing that we've also noticed was that on both sides of the Atlantic, education changes on a daily basis. It comes at you quick, hard and fast, and what we both found was that it takes a long time for teachers ourselves to keep up with new technologies, new ways of teaching, and to give us the time and space to be able to play along with that. So we both are kind of moving in this fast-paced world of education that that we just, I don't know what else to say, but it's just a similarity that I've noticed. We're all in this kind of boat together, but our objective is the same. And we have very, very similar teaching practices and methodologies. We all get there but we just have slightly different ways of getting there.
And when we see something different as well that's working for someone else, we're eager to learn. That was something we discovered recently. A teacher here in Pompano Beach mentioned a particular approach he takes. Many people in the room, including myself, were eager to find out, how did you introduce this? How did you maintain this? How's it going now? To bring it back, because it's something that I'm genuinely interested and curious in. I think it could be really helpful. And it's just, again, some teaching methodology that could be really beneficial across the Atlantic in a completely different school, in a completely different context and environment.
Yeah.
It's near the end of the week now. Have you had any discussions with your students? What have they gained? What have they observed? What have they learned?
They're just, first of all, they're just so happy. They're so happy every time we see them. They're elated. But relationships first and foremost. We're seeing them at the start of the week. They were just looking forward to, getting here and taking pictures of the typical, the sights and the scenes. But now we see them, they're not even interested in that anymore. They see their friends that they've become so close with in the few days they've been here. They're hugging each other. They're, getting in selfies together. So that's something that's really endearing to actually behold. So relationships. And also just sportsmanship, taking part, cheering on other countries in the cultural expos. I think it's good, yes, to be the centre of attention and on the stage and perform, but it's also equally important. They certainly felt to really appreciate other people and support them and hype them up and make them feel good. So I think that's really important.
It's been all really positive. First of all, just even being away from home, we went to FAU yesterday and we spoke about how it might be difficult for an international student to come abroad to a different country. And one of the areas that they highlighted was a struggle for international students is this whole notion of homesickness. And we all get it and we all experience it differently. But when the students came here, they said that it was so important to have host families that made them feel so welcome, the hospitality that they've experienced, and it said that it's made their day easier, knowing that they have a safe place to go home to, knowing that they're being looked after, knowing that they have a host sister or brother at home, and they won't want to leave. They really are forgetting probably to text home at this stage. But
the transition was pretty seamless because of that. It's home away from home, and that's what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Avni Aliaj. Mr. Aliaj, they call me at my school, which is Christ College Finchley in London, United Kingdom. I am a modern languages teacher and the head of modern languages department at the school, and I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you.
How has your experience been so far?
Oh, it's been absolutely surreal, to be honest, and for somebody with some experience in this kind of thing, it's what strikes me is the way that this school has so boldly approached something, an event like this, just typical American style, really, bold and open and proud, and it's a moment that changes lives, that changes perceptions for the best, I think, and that's what's happening right here in this event with this amazing bunch of young people and teachers.
Hello everybody, I'm Yang Hui-wen, and you can call me Harriet. I'm from Yilan, Taiwan, National Yilan Senior High School, and I'm an English teacher, also the international coordinator there. And I'm now here in Pompano Beach High School. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Lin Shu Yi, but you can call me Mars. I'm an English teacher at Yilan Senior High School. I'm from Yilan, Taiwan.
Is this Taiwan's first time at the International Summit?
Yes, this is our first time. So we're very happy to learn so many things from different countries, especially from this school. This is our first time. This is a wonderful experience for us.
And have you learned something?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Actually, we found that students and teachers as well here are very expressive. They're willing to share all the things they know, and of course, their compliments on everybody's performance. So I think it's a great culture, because back in Taiwan, we are still adopting this kind of, we can say it's like atmosphere or approach for teachers to share their ideas, to sit down and talk and discuss. Yes, it's not like lecturing, right? So I guess it's a great way for us to learn and grow.
Yeah, and also for students, very special for them to experience, because the learning ways is totally different. Here is more student-centered. And in our country, always teachers stand in the front,
Yes.
on the stage and teaching. So it's
The
totally
traditional
different.
way, the traditional
Yes.
method.
They always focus only on study. And here they do research, they have conversation in classroom, totally nice. So this is very special for our student to experience.
Is this something that you'll be able to actually bring back to your own classrooms in Taiwan?
Sure. We would definitely have our student to try to learn this way. Very
And
nice.
I think the spirit of competing is what that impresses me the most. I still remember that when I was in the Spanish class, the teacher tried a lot to involve all the students, and the students are quite responsive and communicative. All of them put all of their heart in the activity, and it doesn't matter how good you are at speaking in Spanish. What really important is that you try.
It's almost the end of the week and the end of the summit. Have you had any discussions or conversations with your students about what they have gained, their experiences, what they've loved, what they've enjoyed?
Oh yeah, they have been telling me that it's so interesting to try everything in this school. Different program, different classes. Oh, so nice. And they're telling me that they were gonna share their experience back home.
Yeah,
and tell
okay.
their classmates.
Okay.
All the wonderful experience here. So I think this is really good for them.
You know that back in Taiwan, students and parents always have this impression that senior high school students in America, they don't have much academic pressure. They would play and have fun all the time. But it's like totally different
It's
here.
it's the opposite.
The students are really, they are hardworking, but at the same time, they still have fun.
Yes.
They devote to their like club activities.
Yes.
What we see during the lunch break, and also they still like. Like today, before every ceremony, there is the JROTC. Yeah, it's like a small ceremony before, and they told me that Harriet, Miss Yang, they are so devoted to their country, and this kind that all the students are participating in this. So this is something they will bring back.
Students here, they enjoy their school life.
Yes.
Every one
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
And this is something we really need to learn and really need to let our students feel the same way. We want them to, feel happy to come to school and learn. So this is totally different. Something very new for us,
And one of the students told me that when he was doing the class shadowing, he found it interesting that students here, they are a part of the class, they're also responsible for the class, and when they're doing the class report, they do not do the history report based on a certain country, but they base it on a certain theme, and it tells them that all the events in the world are connected.
Yes, I love that. Yes. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And I hope I see you again in the next one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I am Prava Sarma from Malpi City School, representing country Nepal, all the way from the country of Mount Everest, the highest mountain peak in the world, a country in Southeast Asia. And the experience that I have got in Pompano Beach High School, the summit, the international summit, is wonderful, and I have got chance to know a lot about different cultures, different way of teaching, different platform, technology, and everything. And it is a wonderful experience, and I hope my children are also learning a lot and they're enjoying. And thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Annette Schmücker. I'm the principal of Gesamtschule Hamminkel in Germany. I'm so happy to be here and so grateful to Pompano Beach High School. It's such a great opportunity for our students to get to know other cultures, people from different countries, share all their experiences, and I think it's so important to make us grow together as citizens of one world and keep and promote peace.
Hello, I'm Elke Wollberg. I'm a teacher at Gesamtschule Hamminkeln. It's my first time in the US and my first time at an American high school, so I'm collecting so many interesting experiences and collecting information, and I'm so grateful to be here.
This is Germany's first time at the summit.
Yes, you're right. It's our very first time. We were really very excited about it, and we're enjoying it so much.
Why did you choose to come? Why did you choose to bring your students and come down to the International Summit?
Well, it's part of our school program to prepare our children, our students for life after school too. We're committed to educating them to be open-minded and tolerant and respectful towards other cultures. So that's why.
Yes, and we keep telling them that learning English is very important for them. And now they can practice. They can check how good am I, must I improve my English? And yes, and they find out how easy it is then to find friends here.
Okay, now that we're at the end of the week, are your students talking to you about their experiences, what they've seen, what they've liked, what they've enjoyed, what they've learned?
Yes, they are really overwhelmed. Everybody is so open and they've met so many people and they find they're really making friends and would like to travel to all these other countries. That's what the student said. I would really like to go to Taiwan, for example, or to Poland. It's so much easier if you know a person and to just go as a tourist. Yeah.
Indeed, they collect multicultural experiences here and find out how interesting it is to speak with pupils from other countries and yes, and enjoy it.
How about you as educators? Are you learning different things? Will you be taking things back with you like methodologies or practices or techniques that you've seen in the American classrooms that you take back with you to Germany?
I think our visits to the classrooms unfortunately were too short to do that. But we talked among the principals and among all the staff being here about problems and challenges we face at the different schools, and it was very interesting to know and maybe consoling too. Everybody has to face the same problems really, and so we were talking about solutions too, and I think that helps a lot.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello, my name is Svetlana. We are from Slovakia with my colleague. It's so I want to say that I have an extraordinary feeling of liberty and so very, very excitement, extreme excitement when we are here at your school. So this communication, students, this music now during lunchtime, and that's I have just to give form to all my thoughts and feelings.
Hello, I'm Vanda. My name is Vanda, and I'm from Slovak. I'm a teacher at the gymnasium in Bratislava, in the capital city of Slovakia. And I'm very happy to be here, and our students are very happy to be here too. And thank you for joining us to this Summer International Summit 2023.
Hello, my name is Ana from Mexico. I am here with the Autonomous University of Yucatan. We are from the peninsula, and we are in a group of 7 students and me, the teacher. And well, nice to be here talking to you guys.
How has your experience been so far?
It has been wonderful. We had around 3 days to settle, to relax, to meet other people, other teachers, and to be exposed to the American culture. And it's been just amazing.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Is this Mexico's first time at the International Summit?
Yeah, it is the first time in face-to-face and here, but we participated 2 years ago in the virtual session.
Okay, and why did Mexico decide to come?
Well, I think the school is now trying to promote internationalization. So, well, we wanted to bring students so they can be exposed to the culture, and when they are back, they are going to share this with the rest of the school, with other students, so others motivate to come here again, or maybe to participate in different opportunities similar like this one.
Okay, as a teacher, what have you learned or experienced in this week? Do you have anything that you will be taking back to your own classroom, any techniques, anything new that you want to try with your students?
Yeah, well, In Mexico, it's a bit different because I've heard here, well, I learned that they have like a specific program for advanced students. So I think that is very interesting, and maybe it's something that we can, bring to our schools and maybe try there to see how it works. Because we have advanced like language classes, but not for all the subjects. So here is a bit different, and I think it will be good for us to try something like that.
Okay, now as we are nearing the end of the summit, have your students been talking to you about their experiences, what they enjoyed, what they liked, what they are surprised about, their experiences?
Yeah. I think they are breaking stereotypes, so maybe things that they have seen on TV, and then they are here meeting real people from different nationalities, and things they thought before and now change when they meet new people. And also the other side is when other people from different nationalities ask them things about Mexico, and they are like, no, we don't do that, or we don't celebrate that party, or we eat that food and it's for us it's not spicy, or things like that. So those kind of things they have mentioned. And also they are identifying similarities we have with the USA and also with the other countries, and similarities and differences. Yeah, and that's it.
I will see you at the next summit.
Thank you so much.
So as we come to a close, I ask you to think about what's next. Don't leave here with this is the end. This is just the beginning of your journey. Asking yourself, what can I get out of these relationships? And don't leave today without having those connections and figuring out how you're going to connect. It takes time, right? You have to make that effort, but it's worth it. You have to schedule it. It's so easy to walk away from this event and never talk to anyone again and just take the experiences that you had. But it's that work, that after effect. What am I going to do with all of those experiences? How am I going to make a difference back at my school? I want you to be thinking, what's next? Continue to ask yourself, what's next? And this concludes our 2023 6th Biennial International Summit officially. So if we can close the curtains and say goodbye to all of you.
Hello again. So, what did we learn this week? After plenty of conversations, meetings, discussions, and an international educator panel, we learned that although we all come from different places and speak different mother tongues, we realized that when it came to education, we all actually speak one language. Every teacher and educator from every country, more or less, experiences the same ups and downs, the same challenges and victories, and the same classroom drama. In her closing remarks, Mrs. Jill Samu asked, "What's next?" We realized and agreed that what's next is to keep the conversation going. What's next is to take advantage of the platform this International Summit has created for us, to remain in touch and to keep discussing our challenges, in order to come up with solutions, to keep discussing our victories in order to share the positive experience with teachers around the world, in the hopes that we may all learn from each other and improve with the help of one another. And that is what Legendary Educator is all about. Thank you for tuning in this week. If you'd like to support the channel, the simplest thing you can do is subscribe, like, or comment. You know the drill. Next week, I'll be talking with a new Legendary Educator. Class dismissed.